All right. Hello, everybody. Looks like we're live. Welcome to our, I think, eighth episode of writing our Vimlike model editor in Rust. And today I have a kind of a plan outlined of things that I want to tackle on this stream. So before that, a quick recap. Last time we finished parsing the VS Code theme. So basically, if we go to, let's say, Frappe, is one of the themes. We figured that we do have some information that we want from the colors key here. Namely, we want the editor foreground and background colors. This one and this one are important for us to render the empty part of the buffer and the background in general. And we also learned that the most of what we need is down here on a token colors array of objects. And especially we are interested on those scopes, right? So today, now that we have this properly parsed, as I said, if we look at the VS Code source file, we have this function here, parse VS Code theme, that gives us a theme. And basically, theme is going to be the abstraction that the editor is going to use to do the syntax highlighting, right? So maybe in the future, we can support other themes format. And all we need to do is to create conversion code that parses whatever theme format we want and basically spits out a theme object, right? So if we go to the theme, basically the theme has the name of the theme, then it has the editor itself, like the default style. So the default background color, if you can see here on the style struct. So it's going to be the default foreground color, the default background color, and I don't think we're going to really use bold and italic for the default, but you never know. You may, right? But yeah, so this is the abstraction of the style. And then on top of that, what we need is what I'm calling token styles, and maybe I should later down the road rename this to scope styles. But it's a collection of token styles that has a name, a scope, which is the identifier that we use to after the TreeSitter parses the code, and then the style for that specific scope, right? And if we go back real quick to the VS Code here, you have the VS Code specific structs that are used basically to parse the JSON that we get from a VS Code theme. Make sense? Hopefully it does. So here we have the VS Code theme, the VS Code token color. I created a few conversions so we can go from a VS Code token color to a token style, which is what we're expecting on the editor itself, right? And then we have the VS Code scope, because the scope on the VS Code theme, let me open Frappe again. So if you see here, the scope can either be a string of scopes that uses this style, or it can be a single scope, right? So that's why we had that. Support for single or multiple scopes. And then I also do this thing where if we have only one, I map to a vector of only one item. But if we have multiples, then I keep it as is. And I added some code to parse the RGB colors that we get from VS Code into the format that crossterm needs, which is this one here, is color RGB. And then with the R, G, and B pairs or U8s for the color, right? Parsing from the traditional hex string that is supported by VS Code. We have some tests here, and that's it, right? So this is basically a summary of what we did last stream. On this stream today, our goal is going to be to get syntax highlighting working based on a VS Code theme, right? But then you can say, oh, but don't you already have the parsing done? Isn't that like 2 minutes? And the answer is yes and no. Yes, it is, in terms that we can already render everything with the styles that we are collecting, even though if we go back to the editor and take a look at the highlight function, which is responsible for that, the thing that we are capturing in the end is a color, right? Just a color. But so we need to translate the code to, oh, it's right here. Use the VS Code theme. This is wrong, use theme and style instead of color info, right? Because right now we're leveraging this struct that I create called color info that has the start in the buffer where we start to apply this color, in this case, the end of the buffer, and then the color. The idea is now to replace color info by a new struct, or we're going to rename and change the struct so that instead of holding a color like here, we're going to hold a style that can has a foreground, background, colors. What the heck? This thing thought that I was zooming out. All right, so first things first, we need to be able to tell the editor with which theme we're going to use. So let's go back to the main here. And when we create the editor, we want to do theme and buffer. And here's what I'll do. Let theme equals like that, but we don't want to on a dark pro. What we do want is frappe.json like this. And then we're going to pass in that buffer to the editor. And then the editor here is going to take now a theme and a buffer, and it doesn't know anything about buffer, about theme. Let's import it. Oh, we don't have that? Oh, it's not. I know what's going on. We need to make everything public. So pub theme, then here, insert pub. Let's do the same thing here. And down here, let's make this public. Let's make this public as well. And finally, let's make this guy public. Perfect. So now, hopefully, if we go back here, we can import theme. And then we're going to keep the theme as an attribute of the editor. So let's do here theme, just like that. And yeah, it's never red. So let's go to highlight. Before we do that, let's get to color info. And let's make this, before we make this anything, let's change the name. So let's rename this to style info. And the color is going to be style. And here we're going to use a style from the theme module. And now we should start seeing a couple of issues where it's expecting a style, but we got a color. We're going to fix that now. All right, so we have the capture, which basically is the scope. So let's name it the correct term. This is the scope, like that. And then here's where we need to take the scope and go find on the parsed scope what is the, that translation is going to have to take place inside the VSCode parsing, because we can say that our theme needs to be compatible, our theme struct, the scopes that we have on our theme struct needs to be compatible with the scopes that TS or TreeSitter produces, right? I think that makes sense. All right, so we have the scope that we got from TreeSitter, and then we need to go find the style on our theme. So instead of doing this, what we really need to do is let style equals self this, exactly this, get style. So let's create this. Let's go there. Get style, and we're returning a style. So here we're going to do self.token styles.iter. That's it. If we contain, and then style needs to implement clone. Oh, sorry. Yep, and I think this is good now. Good. So let's go back. And so this works. What's the issue that we have? Yeah, so, and the scope, the style can be none, yeah. Yeah, this is wrong. So we're going to do this, and probably it's going to complain that option. And then this has to be an option style. There it is. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's oops. Style equals style. Color.push. Yep, that's all fine and dandy, but there is another thing we need to do. We need to start working on the default color, because I think right now when we print something, we are checking if the current color is not known, and if it's none, we don't do colors. So let's address that. So let me just say that this thing here was at 0, 0, 0. Oh, not really. Yeah, I didn't track this. but I'll do that in post, as they say. All right. Now, let me try to figure out where we are doing the default color as opposed to the color that we have here. So we were doing that here with, yes, some style equals style. Where do we print to the screen? It's going to be on the draw method. Then we highlight draw viewport. Let's see. Yes, so color info is self.highlight. This brings us the color info, and this would be the vec of style info. Good, and then how do we determine the color? Okay, so color starts with none. And then we are assigning the color here. And then I assume that color is a style info. That's correct. But on print char, I am sure that something is not right. Yes. So now this is going to change, because now we're not going to have color as none in any scenario. What we're going to have is that the color is going to start. We probably need, yeah, we're going to, thinking. Yeah, let's initialize this with self.theme.style. And let's make this a borrow. Can I do that? Or do I need to clone it? Let's see. So then print char, we have an option of style info. We're no longer going to have that. We're always going to need a style info, regardless of where we are. And then here, we're always going to do a print styled content. Like that. And then this is no longer ci.style, but rather style.background. Foreground, and then on style.background, like that. I think those are option. Yeah, so let's do the following. Let foreground equals style.foreground.unwrap or self, yes, this. Self.theme.style.foreground. But I think no field FG on type style info. Oh, sorry, going back. So style info. Oh, it's because it's style dot foreground. Okay. So let's call this style info. And then style.foreground is an option color, but the theme style.foreground is also an option color. So I think we still need to account for none, but let's think. So we're going to start by saying let mutable c equals c.toString. Then if fg.isSum C with foreground, but I think this changes the type. But yeah, let's play this game, and then let's do if background dot is sum C equals C with background. If let sum. If let sum fg equals fg. Like that. Yeah, I know. This is an issue that we're going to have to solve. If let some background style background, we do this. Good. But now we need to transform this into a cross-term style color. Let's see. With the return self.styled. Stylize.styled. Content style. Maybe that's what we need. Let's see. Let's take a look at the documentation for that. So basically, yeah, we need something like this. And then we need to put the foreground, background, underline, and attributes. What is attributes? Okay. Still don't know how you do bold, but fine. It's going to be content style default. Like that. And then if we have a foreground, we're going to do set c.foreground color. It's like that. If we have a BG, it's going to be c.background color. Yeah, this is a color. What do you expect? Oh, you expect, yeah, that's fine. We can just do this. So we can do new, actually. No, we can't. Let's see. Yeah, we just have new and apply. So I don't think we're going to be able to do that on the initialization unless we construct it. Can we do that? I think we can. So let's do that. There we go. And now foreground color. Yeah, we can call this foreground color, whatever. And then the rest, we don't care for now. This is background color, so background color, this is going to be BG. Like that. Expected enum. What's the problem here? Expected option color, found color. Isn't the style on the theme? Hold on. Yeah, this is an option color. Oh, because it's unwrap or. Right. So let me think. Yeah. We're going to have to do a match, right? We will. Okay, so match style.foreground. Some FG is going to be some FG. Then none is going to be this. And then we're going to do the exact same thing for the background. There we go. And now this works. Now, how do we take a content style and print that? Let's see. I think you just print normally. So print style content, and then we just do C. Like this. Should work. Nope. What does print styled content take? A styled content of D, where D is display. Expected struct styled content, and you got content style. That's right. So we're creating a content style and need expected styled content. Everything here is private. Can I go from one to the other? It looks like you do new and content. Oh, because you need the content. You need basically what you're going to print, right? So let's not do, let's name this to something else. So this is going to be called style. I think we don't need style anymore, so let's reuse that for this. This doesn't have to be mutable, so let's do styled content. Is going to be styled content new. See, that is right, just like that. And then content style. No, not like that. It takes the style and then the content. Let's see. Yep. And then what's the issue here? It's styled content. Yeah. Yank and paste. Okay, I think we got it now. So print char now needs a style info, which makes sense, transforms it into what's expected by cross term, and then we just put it on the screen. Perfect. Let's see what else is breaking now. All right, so we are back to the draw viewport. We have the default color, which we're going to rename to style, like that. And then style is what? Is a style, and print char needs a style info. But, oh yeah, because style info gets, so let's undo this. And let me think. So we need the style info. So this is the default, but the default is not a style info, right? That's right, because the style info is not the style. So how were we doing this before? The print character was taking a color, and then the color was being assigned from this guy, from the color info. So now we need the style, but we also need the style info, and that's what color info gets us. Okay. What if we don't have a style info? Yeah, we need to do the validation if we have a style info here. So it's going to be an option of style info, I think. Because otherwise, we need to continue using whatever it is that we're using. We don't, yeah. So unfortunately, we're going to have to do this. If, that's not if, but let some style info equals style info, else self dot this, and return okay. We need to leave early because, return early, because we don't have any style info. We just have the style. But we can continue using whatever it is that we're using, I think, right? So let's go back here to draw viewport. Yes, so now we have a style. I take back what I said, because we're only going to need the foreground and the background at that point. So it doesn't make sense. Actually, this thing here needs to take the style, just the style, like that. Then we don't need this. Yes, I think now this is correct. Let's go back to the draw viewport method, and now we have a style, which is the default style. And if we have from the style info, color info, where do we get that? From self.highlight. Okay, let's rename this. This becomes style info. Style info, like that. And now if we have style, so style info find yes, where the start position is that. We're gonna do color renamed to style, like that. And if we have some S, like this. We expected, oh, we're passing in a, yes, we know this is not an option anymore. This is just going to be straight up like this. Otherwise, yeah, we need to fall back to the theme style. So self.theme.style, like that. Expected reference found what? Oh, that's correct, dot style. Can borrow self as mutable, okay, because it's also being muted, yeah. So this is not happening, is it? And then style info. I think since, oh no, we have style, and yeah, we need to clone it. Because we're also using it as mutable, right? Hmm. Don't know. I think we can still do borrow. Let's see. Like that. If we borrow, what if we pass the style info to print char and we decide what to do inside there? Oh no, because this depends on the start position. I get it. We do a cargo check here. Yeah, we have an immutable borrow here on the print char. Why does it have to be mutable? Oh, because it comes from the outside. It doesn't have to come from the outside anymore, because we're always determining. No, we're only doing that when we. No, we are always determining this. So this doesn't have to be mutable anymore. And actually, we can do something like this. We can extract this to a method that returns a style. Do we have that on here? We do. Determine style for position. And this is the cursor X, or just X, right? Yeah, otherwise we can safely return this. This doesn't have to be mutable anymore. And I think we're golden. So here we just do determine style for position, style and X. Oh, it's not X, it's the position on the buffer. So this has to be pause. Like that, and we need to pass in pause here as well. Okay, that's perfect. The only thing is here, yeah, when we're filling the, but when we're filling the blanks, we can use the default style. Self.theme.style. Where am I borrowing it as mutable? Don't get it. Because we're passing in a style info as a borrow here. Mutable borrow occurs here. Self.printchar. That's correct, because we need it to be mutable because we're doing the std out thing. Okay. Yeah, I know what to do. Let default style equals self.theme.style.clone, and then you can just use here default style like this. And what's next? Okay, determine style for position. We pass a style and a position. Style info. Let's get this like that, and let's return a known style. Okay. We don't need self here. So if we return an option style, we don't need self anymore. Okay. So now let style equals style. So let's do if let some style. So if we return a style, we use it. Otherwise, this. Can I have a function that determines style for position? Yeah, because this is a free function, so we need to declare it as such. Cannot move out of s.style. Yes, because we need to clone you for now. We'll come back for you later. Consider changing the parameter in the function to borrow instead of owning the value isn't necessary. I'll do that. Let's see where that takes us. Okay. So we pass in style info, and where does this take us? Good. Use let to ignore the result, but I don't wanna. All right, so we have one warning. We're almost there. So and is never used? That's suspicious. Right? Yeah, we need to yeah, I think we screwed up because here what we were doing is if we are at the start of the token, we would do, let's do a git diff. I think I messed up here. Let's see. Specifically here. Let's think. So we're going character by character, right? If the position, no, but I think. Okay, let's go into determine style for position. Oh, that's right. We need to see if we're in between the start and the end. Otherwise, we return known. Yes. We have to find the style info. Yes, where the pause is. Yes. So let's rename this to style info. And then we can say that we need to find the style info that contains the position. Like this. So let's go to style info and let's create that method. Public function contains self.buffer position, and then we return a Boolean. That's not the right place. Contains self, that's it. So if the position is more than start, yes, that's correct. All right, let's see. Now this is correct. Okay, we're not using type, I'm okay with that. Now, if we run, we shouldn't see, unless there is a match between the scopes that VSCode uses and TreeSitter uses, we shouldn't see any syntax highlighting, but let's see. Okay, so the good thing is that the background is working. We are not applying the correct color when cleaning the lines, but you can see that we had indeed a couple of matches. And if we look at the same file here on the left-hand side, which is editor, if we go to the top, you can see that the use color here is the same. And I think the background color is consistent as well, which in my book is a win. So yeah, we're nearly there. Now we need to start worrying about the fill colors, and I think I know where that is. Let's see. Let's go to the draw viewport. And there's a place here where we fill the, not this one, this one. Yeah, this is the only thing missing. So instead of printing like this, we just need to give it the same thing we do down, where we get the style. We just need to do print char, but we need to do that a bunch, so I don't think we should do print char. I think, thinking here. Let's do self.print. I mean, we could, but that's not a good idea. Let's do self.print. How can we call this? So this is the spaces that we print from where the line end up until the end of our buffer or our viewport on the right-hand side. So let's call it fill line. Yes. Like this. And we can do fn fill line self, where's that XY? We don't need to move anywhere. We do. Yeah, but let's think for ourselves. So let's do copilot disable. Copilot disable. Here you go. All right, so we're gonna fill the line from XY. Where's the width? We don't need the width. We can figure that out. So let's do the following. Let's width is gonna be self.vWidth minus X. So our viewport width minus where we are. And then we can do the same thing we did where we were assembling the styled content. Where was that? Maybe up here on, yes, we need to do the same magic here. So I think we need a helper method, a helper function that will give us the print styled content or the styled content. Yes, based on a style. So I think we can defer that to the style because we're taking in a style and we're gonna spit out styled content. That's what I think we should do. So let's go on the, we can even do a from style for styled content. I like that. So let's go to the definition. Implement from style for styled content. Oh, but we need D. where the display. I don't know if that's going to work. Let me see. So styled content.new. For styled content, char. Oh no, we don't need the styled content. We need content style. Yes. So implement from style for content style. Then we can do implement missing members, style, and then we just basically need to get this chunk here. This will get us content style. Then this, and then here, let foreground color. Oh, yeah, we can just return known. Yeah, we don't have the fallback to the default style here, which is bad. Is it? Thinking. Yeah, I don't think we can implement the from here. We could because yeah, no, we can't because we don't have a fallback. Thinking. Yeah, screw it. Let's just implement as a normal method. So we're going to implement style to content style. This is going to be self, and we return a content style. And then here we need to say default style is going to be a style or fallback style. We could potentially have none. Yes, I think this is an option. Because I think in one of the methods there, we don't want to have a fallback. Maybe we do. Let's see. Let's keep it like this, and then we can go from here. So this is going to be fallback style, right? And then this is self. Some FG, fallback style dot FG. Here, same thing. We want self. And then we want fallback style, like this. Okay, not bad. So we're probably not going to need this anymore because we can do the following: let style equals style dot into. Now we can't do that. Unfortunately, it's going to be to content style. Is that not public? Public. And then the fallback style is going to be self.theme.style. No method named to content style for. Oh, because we already have, yeah, we need to take all of this out. Oops. And we can move this down here and bundle those two commands like that. Okay. Yep, I think we're chilling. Very good. So styled content new, and then we change that. Yeah, that's great. All right. And I think we can do the same thing for fuel line now. So fuel line, yes, style is going to be a style. So we do what we were doing here. And then repeat here can be as you size. Here as well. like this. And fill line has to be mutable. Let's do that. Mutable. We need to move to XY, so dot Q cursor, move to X and Y. Do this. We're just missing the styling, yes. So here, we're gonna do let styled content equals style dot to style to content style self dot theme dot style, like that. And then this is content style. You can call it style just like that. Let styled content is going to be styled content new style line fill. And then like that, and here it's going to be styled content, and we just need let line fill is going to be this. Oh, print style content. That should be it, right? We still have a warning. Let's see what the warning is. Yeah, we're not using this guy. Perfect. Not. Yep. No more issues. Let's quit this. Rerun. Ha ha ha. Check that out. Love it. Okay, so background, check. We do have some highlights. I noticed here as well we have on the new. Let's see, new, and they are consistent. So now we're going to start the tedious work of mapping TS scopes to theme scopes. So let's say that we start this at 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 40 and 50 seconds. All right. But before we do that, let's commit. So let's add themes. And let's see what we added. So yes. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Yes. Uses styles with background and foreground colors instead of colors for syntax highlighting. Let me take out this. We don't need this. Instead of colors for syntax highlighting. There we go. And now let's start taking a look at the things we don't find as scope. So let's see how we log that. And let's get to logging. So we had scope equals here. And then we do get style. Let's log everything for which we don't get a style. So basically here. Okay, so didn't find scope, and then what is scope? Isn't it just a string? Yes, so we can do like that, and you know what? We don't need this message. So scope, and then let's try to print what we were trying to find, the keyword. So let keyword equals 2. We have the buffer, self.buffer dot. Can we get a piece of the line? No. Let's remember how we're drawing this. VBuffer, and VBuffer is the viewport. So I think we're going to grab the same thing there. Thinking, yes. temporarily paste this here, and then to do remove this for debugging purposes only. And then we're going to do keyword. It's going to be the vbuffer. Vbuffer start end like this. Yes. Okay. So now it's time for us to get to logging. But I think I'm going to do it like this for now. Let's do tail red.log. And let's see. Okay, we didn't crash, which is good. So we couldn't find constructor for quit here. So let's open frappe.json and see if we have constructor. Where is this? What's the path to this? Let's see. Token callers. So we're in the right place. Meta function call constructor. I don't think that's correct. So let's go to the same place on the editor. Let's find quit. So it should be this caller here. Let's get an approximation by doing caller picker. Let's go here to the quit and try to figure out which caller this is. I'm opening VS Code. I want to keep our notes there. No. So constructor is this caller. Let's take a look at our options. So this is an enum. Yeah, but it's not an enum name. This is an enum member. Okay, so we don't have the same notion on TreeSitter, do we? This is being called a constructor. Interesting. Let me see. So we have this caller here, but it oh, sorry. Yeah. It doesn't seem to be the same caller, right? I don't think this is what's being applied here. Let's see what that caller looks like. Yeah, definitely not this caller. It should be something closer to this one. So let's keep searching. So enum, I'm sure we're not going to find this specific caller, but we can try. Okay, type alias. I'm just thinking if there is a better way for us to go about that. So punctuation delimiter, we don't care. Attribute. Let's see how we are rendering the attribute. So here is another difference, right? TreeSitter apparently is not parsing the attribute as individual things like we have here. It's parsing it as the whole thing, even though, look, it's doing brackets and constructor. So maybe we can leverage that. Constructor theme. If you take a look at theme here. So is TreeSitter considering, yeah, I think it's considering this and this the same, which is not true in NeoVim. Let's take a look at in VS Code. So we have the same theme here on VS Code. What happens if we open, so let's go to red, let's do code. Let's open editor here. Yes, do you see the difference? It's the same theme, but in VS Code it's not different. Oh, now it is. Did you see that for a split second? It's almost like it did one pass, like a fast pass and a slow pass. That's very interesting. I think we're missing something, but so yeah, and even the God, this is hard. constructor for color. So let me see this color here. It doesn't help that I'm colorblind as well, but it's so good. Yeah, it's definitely not italic, right? Oh, it is. So I think it's using entity, sorry, where's constructor here? Meta function call constructor. Let's try that. Let's use this as our first mapping. Okay, so now we need to go to VSCode here. And when we are doing the parsing, and then we have a from one to the other here. Parse RGB. And then the scope is here. So let's create a little helper method function here called translate scope. And then we have VSCode scope as a string or str, let me see. String. And we get back a string. And here we can do str. So if we see if VSCode scope is constructor, return meta function call constructor. And if not, return VSCode scope to string. Okay, and then translate scope. From VSCode is not satisfied. The trait regex match. I have no idea what this is. Yeah, okay. All right, still mismatch types. Oh, it's a vector. That's correct. Never mind, not the place, not the place. We need to do that elsewhere. So I think this can still be an str, but let's see. Here is where you need to do that. So it's going to be vec translate scope. And if we have multiples, we have to do v.iter map translate scope collect. No? Expected signature, found signature, because we need to do into iter here, maybe? Yes. Type's never used, I don't care. No, still no luck here. And now all of a sudden our empty line here is messed up. So hold on. Let's see what's wrong. Translate scope. If the scope is constructor, which is here, I think, no. I was going to say that I knew what's going on, but I don't. Clearly don't. If VSCode scope is constructor, return meta, function call, constructor. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we should see that here if we were translating correctly. But we still see constructor. All right, so let's log and see if we can, if we had any hits. We need to import this guy or just do create log, type action. No. Okay, let's log what we get here. Okay. Found a punctuation, found a comment line, found, is it the other way around? Found a, it's the other way around. Of course, this. So let's add themes and let's see what we added. So yes, 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 yes. Perfect. Yes. Uses styles with background and foreground colors instead of colors for syntax highlighting. Let me take out this. We don't need this. Instead of colors for syntax highlighting. There we go. And now let's start taking a look at the things we don't find as scope. So let's see how we log that, and let's get to logging. So we had scope equals here, and then we do get style. Let's log everything for which we don't get a style. So basically here. Okay. So didn't find scope. And then what is scope? Isn't it just a string? Yes. So we can do like that. And you know what? We don't need this message. So scope, and then let's try to print what we were trying to find, the keyword. So let keyword equals 2. We have the buffer, self.buffer dot. Can we get a piece of the line? No. Let's remember how we're drawing this. VBuffer, and VBuffer is the view part. So I think we're going to grab the same thing there. Thinking, yes. Temporarily paste this here, and then to do, remove this for debugging purposes only. And then we're going to do keyword. It's going to be the VBuffer. VBuffer, start, end, like this. Yes, okay. So now it's time for us to get to logging. But I think I'm going to do it like this for now. Let's do tail red.log. And let's see. Okay, we didn't crash, which is good. So we couldn't find constructor for quit here. So let's open frappe.json and see if we have constructor. Where is this? What's the path to this? Let's see. Token callers. So we're in the right place. Meta, function call, constructor. I don't think that's correct. So let's go to the same place on the editor. Let's find quit. So it should be this caller here. Let's get an approximation by doing caller picker. Let's go here to the quit and try to figure out which caller this is. I'm opening VSCode. I want to keep our notes there. No. So constructor is this caller. Let's take a look at our options. So this is an enum. Yeah, but it's not an enum name. This is an enum member. Okay, so we don't have the same notion on TreeSitter, do we? This is being called a constructor. Interesting. Let me see. So we have this color here, but oh, sorry. Yeah. It doesn't seem to be the same color, right? I don't think this is what's being applied here. Let's see what that color looks like. Yeah, definitely not this color. It should be something closer to this one. So let's keep searching. So I'm sure we're not going to find this specific color, but we can try. Okay, type alias. I'm just thinking if there is a better way for us to go about that. So punctuation delimiter, we don't care. Attribute. Let's see how we're rendering the attribute. So here is another difference, right? TreeSitter apparently is not parsing the attribute as individual things like we have here. It's parsing it as the whole thing, even though, look, it's doing brackets and constructor. So, maybe we can leverage that constructor theme. If you take a look at theme here, so is TreeSitter considering? Yeah, I think it's considering this and this the same, which is not true in NeoVim. Let's take a look at in VSCode. So we have the same theme here on VSCode. What happens if we open, so let's go to red, let's do code. Let's open editor here. Yes, do you see the difference? It's the same theme, but in VS Code it's not different. Oh, now it is. Did you see that for a split second? It's almost like it did one pass, like a fast pass and a slow pass. That's very interesting. I think we're missing something, but so yeah, and even the God, this is hard. Constructor for color. So let me see this color here. It doesn't help that I'm colorblind as well, but it's so good. Yeah, it's definitely not italic, right? Oh, it is. So I think it's using entity. Sorry, where's constructor here? Meta function call constructor. Let's try that. Let's use this as our first mapping. Okay, so now we need to go to VS Code here. And when we are doing the parsing, and then we have a from one to the other here. Parse RGB. And then the scope is here. So let's create a little helper method function here called translate scope. And then we have VSCode scope as a string or str. Let me see. String. And we get back a string. And here we can do str. So if we see if VSCode scope is constructor, return meta function call constructor. And if not, return VSCode scope to string. Okay, and then translate scope. from VSCode is not satisfied. The trait regex match. I have no idea what this is. Yeah, okay. All right, still mismatch types. Oh, it's a vector. That's correct. Never mind, not the place. Not the place. We need to do that elsewhere. So I think this can still be an str, but let's see. Here is where you need to do that. So it's going to be vec translate scope. And if we have multiples, we have to do v.iter map translate scope collect. No? Expected signature, found signature, because we need to do into iter here, maybe? Yes. Type is never used, I don't care. No, still no luck here. And now all of a sudden our empty line here is messed up. So hold on. Let's see what's wrong. Translate scope. If the scope is constructor, which is here, I think, no, I was going to say that I knew what's going on, but I don't, clearly don't. If VSCode scope is constructor, return meta, function call, constructor. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we should see that here if we were translating correctly. But we still see constructor. All right, so let's log and see if we can, if we had any hits. We need to import this guy or just do create log, type action. No. Okay, let's log what we get here. Okay. Found a punctuation, found a comment line, found, is it the other way around? Found a, it's the other way around. Of course, this, oh boy, oh boy. Then delete, and here we go. Okay, it is the other way around. Would you look at that? Right there. Nice, 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 nice. So that took care of a lot of them, which I love. That's perfect. All right, so we have, what else do we have? Let's go back here to editor. So derive is not the right color as well, and I'm still clicking the mouse. So let's find derive here, derive. Yeah, this is the problem where derive by itself is not being considered a keyword, but I think if we did attribute, we could make it work. I think so. Let's see if we have something like attribute here on the Frappe. Entity other attribute name. Let's built-in attribute library Rust. No, those are semantics. Oh, I think we're probably going to have to get to semantic later. That may be the problem. Entity other attribute, this seems like CSS to me. Meta attribute selector, CSS. Markdown links, mix attribute names. Nix, no. Rust attribute, there we go. Meta attribute Rust. but I don't think this is the one because this is italic. But again, we need to check always here. And yep, this is going to be meta annotation, annotation rust. Meta annotation rust. So another one. And I think we should start handling italics as well. I'll try to do that. So let's add this one. This is going to be on theme, actually VSCode. I mean, we should have a table for this later, but for now, this is fine. Return attribute to string. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, now the whole derived thing is this color, when I think it shouldn't, because we may have something just for debug, or don't we? Type action. Let's see, equals debug. No, so we don't have a dedicated item for the debug. Okay, so I think that's a compromise. But wasn't it a different color below before? Hold on. Kind of lost. What if we don't do this? You see? Is it that now debug gets its thing? No, why is debug a different color here? I really don't know. Or is it everything around it that is, let's see, derive. No? If you're watching this and you have any clue why in this instance here only debug is this color, put a comment down here, because I'm completely lost. But I'm gonna keep this like this for now, because I think it's more correct. Okay, now let's see here. We have on the editor, we have use crate, I think is correct. Buffer, 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 buffer. Oh, let's handle it italics. I think we should do that. So docs rs, cross term is here, italic. Applies italic attribute to the text. Okay, do you have an example of that? Cross-platform, okay. Cross-term, italic. Let's see if they have any examples of this repository. Test attributes. Seems like we have some attribute thingy. Text attributes like bold, italic, sometimes treated as inverse. So definitely we have to leverage this attribute thing somehow. Attribute style, attribute italic. Where we are here, or we are on styled. Oh, you just do that, dot bold. Do we have dot italic? I think so. So let's go back to what we're doing. So we do have the style info, and then on the highlight, let's see, on the draw viewport is where we are applying the style. So we either do style or default style, and then print char is print styled content. Styled content. Color attribute stylize. Yes, we have content style, but I remember we didn't have, oh, attributes. There is where we do it. Okay. Seems like we're getting somewhere. So if we do new on styled content, this is content style. Yes. So to content style here's where you do the attributes. Okay. Attributes. So maybe attributes, a bit set. Oh, it's a bit set. Okay. Let attributes equals to attributes default. Put it here. I think we can do a match. No, because we need to this. Yeah, never mind. So this is going to be mutable. And then if self dot italic attributes dot italic set, yes, set attribute, oops, attribute italic. Yes. If self dot bold attributes dot set attribute bold, like that. So content style, we do attributes like this, and I think we're good. Let's see if we can render some italics now. Yep. Very, very cool. So look, we have buffer here. We have buffer here. This first part of the buffer is not correct, so I think we need to figure out what buffer is. Equals to buffer, buffer. Hold on, let me do this. So buffer is not even on the returning stuff, so how is that? Maybe my scroll back lines are not enough. Let me remember where I set that. Is that on the profile? Maybe. Colors, text, window, terminal, scroll back lines unlimited. Oh, but this is maybe not the profile that we're using. I think we're using the streaming profile. Terminal unlimited scroll back. Okay. So not sure what's going on here. Is that because buffer wasn't a match? That's weird. Yeah, because we have use here, and I'm not seeing use as well. Oh, this is the ones we're missing. Let's do this, and let's always log those. Okay. I see now. So where is that? Editor. Highlight. Yes. Or maybe we can do this. We can log this differently if we find it. Unexpected token because we're missing this. There we go. So let's see what buffer is. Buffer is a constructor. And why is the constructor this color? I think we're mapping it to something. Let's see. We're doing meta function call constructor is becoming a constructor. And then what is the color for that? Oh, this is the capital buffer. Duh. Yeah, we're not getting a hit for buffer. Let's see, equals use. Yes, use we are. IO. Also not getting a hit. Interesting. I wonder if we have... No, that's not even being returned by TreeSitter, which is weird. I would expect it to return something. But okay, I think now let's see why we're not rendering that line correctly. I think that's something we can do. Let's take a look at our plan again here. Test with different teams. Yeah, I think we should do that as well. So let's see, editor, and let's see where we're printing when the line is empty, which is fill line. I think we might be doing this somewhere else as well. If y is more than the height break, that's fine. Here it is. We're doing both. Yeah, that will do. No, it didn't do. I think, is that because this is an empty line? So let's see. If this is not a new line, we print the character, we go and loop. But what if it is a new line? It skips that. Fill line from X, Y, then X, yeah, I don't know. Don't really know. It always happens when we have the new line on the end of the buffer like that. Let's see, if we have two new lines in a row, I think that's what's happening. So what we do is we go here, if C is new line, it is fills the line, but here it should already have filled the line. If Y is more than height, we break. X0, Y, increment Y. Okay, this seems suspicious. Oh, this is the feeling from where, yes, from where you stopped all the way to the end. I think this is overriding. Now, hold on. Yes, maybe this is the problem because, I mean, I'm not sure if this is a problem for this case, but if we do TMP test, for instance, everything below this is wrong. So let's fix this. This is just gonna be that. And then this should work. It does. What about our editor? It works. So that was the problem. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. So here's what I'll do. Let me commit what we have so far. I'm gonna leave this debug there for now. Translates initial translation of VSCode scopes to TreeSitter. Good. Now let's try with a different theme. So if we go back to VSCode here and we do theme and we do cappuccino latte, sorry for burning your eyes out. I just want to see that working. Let's go to main and let's replace frappe by, what's the name of the theme? Theme, cappuccino. Let's see the ones that we have here. So themes, that's gonna be latte. Latte. Are you guys ready for this? Oh, look at that. Yeah, we still have a few mismatches. I mean, a lot of mismatches, actually. But we are slowly getting there. Highlight query here seems like a different color, if I'm being honest. So that's weird. But buffer seems to be correct. Log, not even close. That's not being identified by TreeSitter, at least in our version of it. Let's take a look at this here. Yeah, this usize is also not being triggered. Usize. Yeah, that is wrong. That is really wrong. But I'm going to do some offline investigation because I don't think, you know, going through this rabbit hole is going to be something very interesting for the stream. So test with different themes. We did this at 0, 1. Let's see. let's see here. So 01, 42, let's say 4130. And then I'm going to check it while editing. So I think I'm going to stop here. And then I'm going to do some offline investigation of why TreeSitter is not giving us some good results for some of the places. Just for, before we do that, let me play with another one. Another theme. So we have macchiato. Oh, yeah, macchiato looks interesting. Macchiato. Let's change it on VSCode here. Macchiato. Yeah, that's just darker, I think. Yeah. Let's find another one online. Like Solarize It Dark. Solarize It Dark VSCode theme. I think it comes bundled. No, maybe not. Yeah, I think it does. Let's see if we have it on our installation folder for VSCode. Here. FD solar. No, it doesn't look like we have the JSON available, but let's find something else. What about Norde? VSCode theme. Oh, there's one that I used to use a lot. What was it? I think it's still in my configuration on here. JSON. Oops. JSON. Theme. Where's theme? It was something Fox. Let me see. Theme. Fox. Night Fox. This is the one I used to use. So Night Fox VSCode theme. Let's see if we have the JSON file available here. Themes. Here it is. So Night Fox dark theme. Let me get this guy. wget output to themes. Nightfox.json. Raw. Let's try Nightfox here. So this is what it looks like. Let's see here. Interestingly enough, this is not highlighting anything. And if you go back to the editor here, of course, there's a lot of things that it's getting right. But it did get the background color, which is weird. But let's take a look at that and see. So Night Fox. So it has colors. And it does have token colors. Oh, hold on. So we found a mismatch here. Oh, no, we did not. We did not. Never mind. Scratch that. But let's find constructor. There's no constructor. Whereas on the other one, what was the other one? Frappe. There was this guy that we used for constructor. So the plot thickens. But yeah, I'm going to take this offline. I'm going to do some investigation. And I'll come back tomorrow probably with some findings. Then we can take a look at those findings and proceed to either, finishing this up or approaching a different problem. Like I want to start two things that I want to start sooner rather than later. Let me bring up Notion here. I don't think if they are here. The gutter is one of them and command mode is the other, right? Be able to see in which line you're on the left-hand side like we have here. So I want to do that. And also supporting the command mode where you press comma like this, not comma, I forgot, colon. Yeah, colon. And then you can run commands from here. I want to start supporting the command mode and the gutter. So probably we're going to tackle one of the two on the next stream, along with an update for the syntax highlighting. Okay? Oh, well, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, the link to my Discord server, if you have any questions or just want to hang out, would be down in the description. Oh, if you liked the video and watched this far, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. I want to get to the point where I can start monetizing the channel. I know it's never going to be a lot, but just to help fund those sessions. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye, everybody.